What's up, newbies? It's time to do some HTML. Okay, first we need to get to the exercises. It's on the basics of the web, and then click on HTML. This orange button here, or in the end, you will find a bigger one in the end. Both will take you to the REPL exercise. And then inside REPL, they will ask you for your username or your password. I just click login with GitHub. And then here, if I click on student, I can find the HTML basic lesson. Let's click here. You can see that it's like 11 exercises. Let's start this one from scratch. And it's saying, add the basic HTML structure of any website. Doc type HTML head body and hello world as the title. So let's do that. Oh, let me unsubmit because it was submitted. And then I can refresh. So the basic structure always start with a doc type. Remember to let the IDE help you. Don't type much. If you see that the text editor has a suggestion, follow it. Typing is bad for health, especially in coding that you will type so much. Now we follow that with HTML tags. Then the head, that's that area. The head is that area where you specify everything that the browser needs to know in order to render the website before rendering it. And then inside the body, you add hello world because that's what they are asking us. You have to add it inside the body because that's where everything that should be rendered or visualized in the website should be inside the body. In the header, we don't need to put anything else. Oh, they're saying as the title, so it's actually here. Title. Hello world. If I run it, you will not see the title here, but this title goes on the name of the tab when you're doing a website. But this is the REPL website, so it's not gonna show. So we press submit and continue to the next one. Then the next one. In the last exercise, you had to add all the HTML basic structure. In this exercise, don't include the head tag, but add into the body an H1 heading with your name on it. Okay, let me unsubmit it because it was submitted. And then start from scratch. So we have to again add the doc type HTML with the exclamation mark at the beginning, then followed by HTML, then followed by head. Oh, it's saying not to add the head. That's about practice. So only do it because you're being asked to do it, but you should always add the head. Now the body, and inside the body an H1 with my name. If we run it, you'll see that here it shows my name. Let's see, now it says, in this exercise, we have added the HTML basic structure for you. Please add into the body an ordered list with 6 items, each item being a reason to become a web developer. Here's how it should look like in the end. So as you can see here, the structure is already made. Remember always to indent. That's super important because if not, you'll forget to close the tags, or you won't know in which level of the hierarchy you are typing right now. For example, I'm typing right now. I'm starting to add childs to the body, so that's why it's one tab to the right. Okay, so we need to start with that. It says that it's an ordered list here, so that's ordered list, OL. And then inside a bunch of LIs. It says that it should be 6 LIs, so you can duplicate this 6 times and then start putting reasons like because we'll make a lot of money, because I'm able to build stuff, because everyone is doing it, or because I want to work at a tech company, or because just because. It's harder to find reasons, not because they're not, but because I'm a coder. I'm not a copywriter, so I have no idea. Let's say that the last one is ASD as ASD ASD. That's the typical input that developers put in a sampled copy, because it's close to the hand. It's ASD. It's like a shortcut. You'll see that when you're coding and you have friends coding, you'll see that they always put the same sample data, and then the project manager gets mad or something like that, because of course it doesn't make any sense to put something like this. It should be data that is very similar to the real data. So submit, and then anchors. Let's talk about anchors for a second. Create an anchor that says click me to search on Google and takes the user to Google when clicked. Documentation. The result should look like this. Note, to be able to test it, you need to right click and open a new tab, because REPL is blocking the normal click for security reasons. Okay. I guess this is already made. It's here. The solution is supposed to be doing something like this. If you run it, you'll see here this, and then you can open a new tab. Oh, but it's not actually not taking you to Google, because here's one of those things that this is a very good concept to learn. Since we are not putting anything like HTTPS or www or slashes or on at the beginning of the anchor data, of the anchored href, then it's assuming that this link will start from the same directory or path that we're at. So it's gonna add on the top here, it's gonna copy this, the browser is gonna copy this and put a slash and then do this. Here you can see it. And then of course this is not a real link or a URL, so it's gonna give us an error. You need to prepend it with HTTP like this, so when you run it, it's gonna take it to the real website. Here it is, Google. And that's because there's a concept that of relative versus absolute. Relative links are relative to where I'm standing. Like if I'm standing in this URL, it's gonna add it to the end. And absolute, it removes everything. Even the domain, if I add the HTTP. If I don't add the HTTP and I only add a slash and I run it, it's gonna remove everything but the domain. Here, let's see. Open link in a new tab, and here it is, repl.org/google.com. You see? So that's a very important concept to have, and you will use it a lot until the end of the course. Okay, so to submit it, we have to go back and put HTTP // and submit. Let's go to anchor in new window. Anchor in new window is the same as the other one, like HTTP // but we add a new property to this tag. Remember that tags have properties like href. Href is a property of this tag. We can add more. If you want to know all the possible properties that you can add, you can go to W3 School. and look for the documentation of the anchor tag here. Anchor tag W3. Here it is. It's gonna start telling us stuff that we can use on the anchor tag. Here, character set, char set, chords, download, href. We're gonna be using specifically target because it specifies where to open the linked document. And then we want to open it in blank. So let's put here target blank. Another thing you could do is if you don't know what to search, you can just search whatever you were asked here, opening a new window using the target attribute. Let's search this, opening a new window, and here is the response. You see, a target blank, open new browser tab or window. So it's the same that we did, target blank. And here it is. So let's test it. And now we don't have to right click. We can just click and that's it because it's gonna open the new window for us, the new tab. Okay, let's submit it and go to the next one. It says anchoring same page. This is a good trick and it's being used more now that websites normally don't refresh, because before every click was a refresh, but now with Ajax and that stuff you don't need to refresh the page always. So this example, if you run it, it shows some text here and then some text here on the bottom, and it's saying anchors are also capable to scroll the website to a specific element that we specify. To do that, you have assigned an ID to the element you want to scroll to. You need to assign an ID to the element you want to scroll to, and then set the URL for the anchor to that ID prepended by a hash character like this. Instructions: create two anchors, one that scrolls the user to the end and the other that scrolls the user to the beginning. The only way to use anchors like this is with ID elements. There's no other way. Okay, so let's add an anchor here. Let's put it inside the h2. Let's say to the bottom. href, and then let's put an ID here to this h2 and say that this is the bottom, and let's put an ID here to this other two and h2 and say that it's the top. So this anchor is going to take you to the bottom, and another one here, it's to the top. href hashtag top. Let's run it. If I click, it takes me to the bottom. If I click in this one, it takes me to the top. So that's done. Now the next one, formatting text. The way Word documents work is pretty standard. You always see the same stuff: headings, bold text, paragraphs, quotes. HTML was meant to replicate the exact behavior. Here's the example. Beginning of the example. And then it says instructions. Please write the code to replicate the exact same styles with pure HTML. Use headings, paragraph, strong, block quote, OL, and LI. Okay, so this is a heading, so let's put a heading, H1, and let's copy this text and put it here inside. Then, I guess it's a paragraph because there's some space in between the other text. Let me copy this here. And then this part of the paragraph in particular is bold. So let's look for that strong here. And I can put the strong tag and then close it after the word mind. Here it is. Okay, then this is a block quote. So then it will be block quote, and we can put the content of the block quote here, but I don't remember how to put this part. I think this is like the author of the block quote. So let's search for block quote, the block quote element. No, Always look for the W3 school because it's more clear. Oh, it doesn't have anything like that. I guess I will have to do it myself. I will have to put a strong inside the block quote and then close it and say the author of the block quote. See how it's looking? It's not looking bad. And then finally you can have some bullets summarizing everything. Okay, this, I guess this is another paragraph. And then we can finish with an ordered list because the items in the list have numbers at the beginning. So let's add some LIs, duplicate them because there are 3 of them, and then paste this here. Okay, let's run it and see how it looks. The reason that this part has the same indentation, it should not have it. It's because the block quote was not closed. It's closed here in the end. Look, I should move that to here. Yeah, and then these 2 need to be indented a little bit more to the left. Then I run it. I guess it's looking exactly the same. Well, it's not the same. It's never going to be the same because the background is different and stuff. But it's, oh, the AA is in the same line and it should not be in the same line. So for that, we could use either a BR, because a BR jumps 1 line. You see here how now it's not in the same line? If I remove it, it will be in the same line. The BR, it's the equivalent in Microsoft Word to shift space. It's like jumping a line, but not really jumping a big line. It's just a little jump. Because if we jump an entire line, will be a p tag, and then we'll have some space in between the quote and the author, and we don't want that. So a BR is a good idea. Okay, so this is done. Let's submit and go to the next one. Replicate HTML. Let's see. Now they want us to do this. Okay, so we start with an H1 saying the learning essay. Then I guess this is an H2 and it says 3 reasons you know you are learning. And then I guess a p tag. We are going to explain in this paragraph the 3 most common signs that you should look into yourself to recognize if you are learning. And then it's a ordered list because it has the numbers and an LI. Well, actually 3 LIs. Then it's again the H2 and then another list, but now of ULs, and then in the end it's just another p tag with an anchor at the end. Let's put the anchor too. For the anchor, if you don't define the property href, it's not going to show like an anchor. So if you don't know where to send the user, just put a hash inside the href property. It says here, click here. Okay, let's continue filling the first list. It says you are able to complete the exercises by yourself. You understand what the teacher is talking about. Well, that's definitely important to know if you're understanding or learning. And then the last one is you are able to have conversations about the topic. Yeah, that's also important. 3 reasons you know you love what you are learning. Time passes fast. ASD, ASD, and ASD, ASD. Woohoo! Just like a developer that fills information with fake data that doesn't make any sense, and then it doesn't look the same, doesn't look good. When you that are going to be doing the rebels, you should not do that, okay? I'm just doing this because I want to have the video fast and so you don't get bored hearing to my voice. If we run, here's the text, it looks exactly the same as the other one. So let's submit and go to the next one. Nested tags. So it's saying, let's play with some nested tags. Print an H1 with a nested I tag. So H1 with a nested I. And it says hello world dot, and then in italic word. Then print a P inside of an H1. Okay. Hello world, and then P hello world, and then it says add a long paragraph P and add an H2 inside of an anchor. Okay. So let's add the anchor now, and then let's add the H2. It's like a triple nested. When nesting tags, is very important to use the indentation and following all the best practices, because if not you can get confused fast. Remember that anchors need the href always, so I'm putting it with a pound, with a hash. And then we can say here, hello. And then these exercises seem boring, but I have to do them anyway, because the more I practice, the less my brain forgets, at least for the first 4 days. It says that we have an error. Let's see, in the tab implied, but they weren't open elements. Well, if we run this, it looks like exactly the same as the exercise, but I want to see what these warnings are. Expected end tag P. Here it is. What are you crazy? And end tag P implied, but there were open elements. I don't understand what it's telling me. I'm opening here, closing here, opening here, closing here, open, closing. So what's the problem? And it's rendering good, so I don't think this is a real error. Let's just submit and continue. Then my first table, we're going to be doing a table here. Doing a table, it's starting with a table tag, then followed by a tr, and then a td. So this is table row, and then the table d, it's table zel. Yeah, no, I don't know why it starts with a d, but it's a table cell. It's saying that we need to create name, last name, and phone number. So name, last name, and phone number. Then we need some more TRs, but now for the data, that it's 3 people. 1, 2, 3. Instead of name here, it's Justin Privetto. And a number. Then it's Jacob Prieto with another number, and then it's James McDinzik. With another number. If we run it, we'll see the table here, but it doesn't have that color. For that, I think we can say that here we want the background, no, the color red. Let's see if it works. Nope. Adding styles to tables without CSS. Let's see. Or maybe the hint says it, how to do it. No. Oh, look, we can use also t-head. Yeah, t-head is a tag that you can add here to specify that this is gonna be like the heading of your website, of your table. And then of course you will need also the t-body. It's like a little mini website here with the head and the body, but it's for a table. That's why you prepare it with a T. Now what's the other? It's saying no spread tag and tag t-body. Ah, yeah, it's an opening tag. Cool. Still, I want. Ah, look, it's BG color. Here it is. So BG color. Let's see. This is one way of doing it. What if we add it to the t-head like this? Yeah, it's the same. And the tr inside of the head, a height of 40, and the width attribute of the table to 100. So the table width to 100%, and now it's gonna take the entire website. Okay, and then a height of 40 pixels to the t-head. So it's height 40 px maybe. No. And what about 40 itself? Nope. Maybe this goes in the tr. Let's see. Yeah, that's how it was made. The only thing we're missing, I think, here is I think it's the border. Border 1. Yeah, now it looks exactly the same. And submit, and I think we only have now an image with some text. It says, before CSS existed, using tables was the only way possible to do some layouts. It's a very similar process to creating layouts on Microsoft Office. Yeah. So for that, we'll need to again add a table to create this image and text without using styles, and then it will be like one row with 2 columns, right? So tr, td, and then another td. In the first td I put the image, and the image is a source property, and then here I put some text. So for the image, please hold it, and for the text, limp sum. Instead of using it as ASD, you can just generate some fake text here that looks more real. So let's put it here, and for the image we have this other service that you can just copy this image here, and it gives us a sample image that we can use, the URL. So if we put it like this, it's looking a little bit better, but now we're missing one more thing, because yeah, the border 0, it's by default, but let's put it anyway, because maybe Internet Explorer, like always, it's gonna change everything. So border 0 by default means that it comes as 0 by default in the majority of the browsers. Then the first column should be height 150. Okay, so the first column is this one, height 150. Then the second one with the attribute vertical align top. Okay, let's put it like that. Let's test this first. Okay. The second one with vertical align top. I think the text is too big to see the difference. So let me cut it in half. And you'll see how when you align it vertically to the top, it's different. You see, now it's in the middle. But if I add the vertical line top and I run again, now it's in the top of the table. Because the table is there. If I change border to 1, you'll see how the table is there, you see? But since it's border 0, the table is invisible. So it's like we're doing a beautiful layout without doing much effort. But this type of layout with tables is not a good practice. We just wanted to show you how you can use tables in different ways and all these properties that you can use on the tables. Okay, so this was the last exercise. Submit it like this, and then you should go to the next REPL or keep studying however you want. Good luck.